TIFU by being with a guy way too long without asking him his name. I 26F met this really good looking guy. I'm 28 at an event 3 months ago and we really liked each other. For the rest of the night we talked about the books we like. We talked about our families, etc. And there was a lot of connection. We ended the night with a kiss goodbye and got each other's socials. We told each other our names at first, but I have a huge problem with names because of my job. I meet 200-300 students every year. I think my mind has reached full capacity. I figured I could just see his name on his socials, but he has a nickname on his Instagram and just an emoji on his WhatsApp, so I couldn't learn. A few nights later we went out for drinks and I felt so embarrassed to ask his name since we kissed before too. We kept seeing each other until now and it's been 3 months almost. We also slept together. And I think I'm starting to catch feelings also. I just don't know his name and now it's been embarrassingly late to ask him.
Story 2.
TIFU by buying condoms while shopping with my girlfriend's dad. Happened a few years ago now. And then girlfriend is now wife. Happened about Christmas Eve. The day before that maybe. My girlfriend's dad had to go out to a big supermarket and asked if anybody needed anything. I was staying for Christmas, and had forgot to get a last-minute extra thing for my girlfriend. So I tagged along. We split up in the store. I went and got a box of condoms and went to the cashier with no queue. Said to her very quietly, "Can you put these through discreetly please?" Girlfriend's dad also then happened to join the queue behind me. Just as the cashier said rather loudly, "There is no need to be nervous. You should practice safe sex." Looked round and her dad heard everything. I said that's fine, but that's my father-in-law. Cashier seemed pretty embarrassed. In-law played it cool and seemed interested in the line of chewing gums at the kiosk. We'll never forget that.
Story 3.
TIFU by delaying my attempt to reconnect with my ex. Some context to start: my girlfriend and I parted ways a little over 3 months ago because of a difference in our visions for the future. She was clear on never wanting kids, and I felt conflicted. I felt pressured to want them because my mother had often emphasized that I was her last hope for grandchildren, which I believe to be true. Fast forward a month, after some soul-searching and intense heart-to-heart conversations with my parents, I came to a realization maybe children weren't in the cards for me either. That epiphany changed everything. I felt an overwhelming need to reconnect with my ex, believing that this newfound clarity could be our second chance. However, my ex had just embarked on a new career journey, and I imagined the emotional chaos of our breakup coupled with the pressures of a new job must be extremely stressful. Wanting to be considerate, I planned to send a reconciliatory text on our breakup's 3-month mark, but then I hesitated, thinking maybe that was a bit on the nose and waiting another week. And here's where the universe played its cruel trick. Unknown to me, my ex caught the eye of a co-worker a month prior, and in that short span of the week I decided to wait. Cupid's arrow struck her once more. By the time I mustered up the courage to text, she had already embarked on a new romantic chapter. We eventually talked, and the emotional roller coaster was intense. She confessed that she still had feelings for me. She said she would have considered rekindling our relationship if she hadn't just started this new one, and that if circumstances ever changed, she'd reach out. Now, every day feels like a battle with regret and what-ifs. The weight of my hesitation hangs heavy on my heart. I'll get through this, sure, but for now, retreating into my cave seems to be the only remedy to cope with this heartbreak.
Story 4.
TIFU by losing 4 years worth of my parents' savings. I come from a third world country and knowledge about scams are practically non-existent as they aren't taught by anyone. I borrowed $3,400 from my parents thinking I've got a life-changing opportunity to change our lives. I invested in MTFE, an AI bot trading app. My friend introduced me to it. He said that he made almost $10K in just 2 months and it has low risk. They promised almost $100 daily from just a $3,400 investment. Mind you, $80 is the average monthly wage here. After I invested the money the next week it was gone without me being able to even withdraw $200. I'm devastated and don't know how to come out with the truth to my parents. I might even get disowned and thrown into the streets just cause I wanted to live better. I've already contacted some SSI help centers to help me calm down. What do I do from now?
Story 5.
TIFU by saying shut up during assembly. So for context, my school has assembly after lunch. Once assembly is done we get to go home after. The only problem is that assembly is so f***ing long. This is where the FCK up occurred. Assemblies in general are long. However, there is one particular teacher, calling him Mr. Jeff, who basically rambles about the same things and makes assembly longer and basically delays us going home. Once the assembly was nearly over, Mr. Jeff had come to present the assembly as per usual with his long waffle. And as per usual I sighed, But unfortunately, it wasn't just a sigh. The assembly had basically been going over, and due to my frustration I had blurted out, shut up." I thought no one had heard me, but the people and him around me did. He then said, "Well, apparently some people are tired of me talking, so time to dismiss you." I had to stay back though, and he essentially questioned me on why I would say that and that he was only trying to be helpful. I just explained that his assemblies always talk about the same thing and how he always conveniently delays the time to leave or only decides to speak just before we are about to leave. My friends were agreeing with me but didn't say out loud.